welcome everybody to Eindhoven in the Netherlands. We are at the Philips Stadion this evening for international friendly action between the Netherlands and Ecuador. Both teams looking forward to a World Cup summer in the USA, Mexico and Canada 2026, and in their final preparations here, time ticking down to that tournament started. Hence these friendlies. Netherlands this evening under Ronald Koeman. They beat Norway last time out, 1-2-1 on Friday. They've got a couple of more games scheduled before the World Cup. Ecuador, really good defensively. They only conceded 3 in their last 10 games, although they haven't scored in 5 of those. And remarkably, the last 7 games outside of Ecuador have finished in 7 draws. So this should be a really competitive one this evening between the two sides, as you'd expect with international friendlies. There's been a few changes made, and I'm expecting a whole raft of substitutions in this one. But as the teams join us and we are going through the national anthems, etc., I can bring you the team news, starting with the Netherlands. And Ronald Koeman has gone with the following. In goal, number 23, is Mark Vlekken. Number 22 is Denzel Dumfries. Number 6 is Stefan de Vrij. Number 4 is Virgil van Dijk. Number 5 is Nathan Ake. 16 is Jody Schutten. 26 is Quinton Timber. 18, Daniel Marlin. Number 7 is Xavi Simons. Number 11 is Cody Gakpo. And number 19, getting a well-earned start tonight, is Brian Broby. For the visitors, head coach Sebastian Bekesese has selected the following. Number 22, Gonzalo Valla. Number 2 is Felix Torres. Number 6, William Pacho. Number 4 is Joel Ordóñez. Number 7, Purvis Estupinian. 23 is Moises Caicedo. 21, Alan Franco. 15 is Pedro Vite. Number 19 is Gonzalo Plata. 9 is John Yeboah. And number 13 is Ene Valencia. Substitutes, big old squads for both sides tonight. Substitutes for the Netherlands. We have Justin Biljau, Bart Verbruggen, Jeremy Frimpong, Lucharel Gertrude, Ryan Gravenberch, Jarrell Hatto, John Paul Van Hecke, Tien Koopmeiners, Noah Lang, Tijani Reinders, Keith Schmidt, Luciano Valente, Mickey van der Ven, and Wout Weghorst. And for the visitors, substitutes are Hernan Gilindes, David Cabezas, Jose Hurtado, Jordi Alcivar, Anthony Valencia, Kenji Paez, Elias Legendre, Alan Minder, Jordi Caicedo, Angelo Preciado, John Mercado, Gianna Corozzo, Yame Abel Medina Ortiz, Jackson Peroso, and Jeremy Aravola. Your referee for this one is Sasha Stegeman, and his VAR this evening, which is in operation, is Nicholas Winter. This is officially, or so far, Ecuador's final preparation game before they head off to the World Cup. Interesting to see if they plan anything more. Netherlands do have 3 more after this one, but interesting to see what state of preparation these two teams are before the tournament. The final lineup for World Cup 26 will be decided this evening as the 4 European ties take place, as well as the 2 intercontinental ties take place overnight as well. So looking forward to getting that final 48 teams for the tournament. We're not far away from kick-off here at the Philips Stadion. They're just running a couple of minutes behind with the formalities. The Ecuador coach, Sebastian Beccacese, with his long blonde hair flowing out behind him, catches the eye down there in the technical area. The Netherlands are playing this evening in their traditional home kit. Ecuador all in dark blue this evening with gold trim. Just about ready to go here in Eindhoven, the home of PSV. The Dutch playing this evening, white shirts with an orange band, orange shorts and white socks. Netherlands, semi-finalists in Euro 2024. Quarter-finalists in the World Cup last time around in 22. And also quarter-finalists in the 24-25 Nations League. So always knocking on the door. Netherlands there or thereabouts. Ecuador, who qualified for their first World Cup in 2002. And this time around will be their fifth. The best they managed was a round of 16 appearance back in 2006. Head-to-head records, they've only played 3 times. Netherlands have won 1, there's been 2 draws. Ecuador yet to beat their host this evening. The last time they met was in the World Cup, last time around, 2022, game which finished in a 1-1 draw. Just about ready to get underway here, around about 5 minutes after the advertised time. The team's lining up for kick-off. Brian Grobby is stood over the ball. The Dutch will be kicking from right to left as we look. And we are underway here in the Philips Stadion. International friendly action. Netherlands and Ecuador. Ball played back to the Netherlands goalkeeper who slips Mark Flecken as he tries to clear that. And Ecuador immediately on the attack on the far side. The captain in possession, the veteran Enner Valencia, is eventually crowded out. But Ecuador industrious in winning the ball back. And knock it back via the halfway line to their own goalkeeper. Ball in possession of Vala, the Ecuadorian keeper. Goes long, Timber. Wins it for the Netherlands, gives it out to Schuiten, who goes back to Van Dijk. Van Dijk lofts it long. Viet challenges with Dumfries. Round about the halfway line, Dumfries comes away with the ball for the Dutch. Dumfries just looking for an option. Nothing in front of him, so turns and gives it back to Stefan de Vrij. And Stefan de Vrij has dropped it off to his goalkeeper. Mark Flecken has it. Flecken's gone long. Might be something brewing here for the Netherlands. Opportunity, right hand side. Let's just have a little VAR check here. Ball is in the net. For the Netherlands. But the VAR, the German, is having a look at it. Not really sure at this point what's going on. VAR taking a long look at this incident. But the goal is going to stand. And the Netherlands have gone 1-0 up here in the early stages. Goal out of absolutely nothing. Netherlands are in front. Goal after 3 minutes. It's a long ball forward from Flekken. He's trying to establish the goal scorer. It was a tight offside decision, which was the reason there was a long VAR check on that one. The goal has been given. And straight from the outset, Netherlands 1, Ecuador 0. So an excellent start for Ronald Koeman's men. Netherlands immediately back on the attack over on the left-hand side. Thrown to Ecuador. Ecuador just rattled a little bit here. Not been a good start for the visitors. Alan Franco has possession. Franco goes up the line to Yeboah. Yeboah just drops it back in to Alan Franco. Cody Gakpo wins it back for the Netherlands. Left-hand side over the halfway line. Gives it forward to Xavi Simons. Donian Marlin down the left-hand side. Netherlands sniffing out a second goal here. Donian Marlin over by the left-hand corner flag. Estepinian is doing the defending for Ecuador. That first goal has been awarded to Pacho as an own goal, by the way. It's a little bit of a messy situation all round. Ball still being fought for down by the corner flag over on that far side. Netherlands 1-0 up here. Early own goal difference between the two teams. Nathan Ake has it. And this will be a free kick to the Dutch. Ball into the danger area. Punched clear by the goalkeeper. Ecuador trying just to win a little bit of possession. Can't do so. Eventually they get it thrown over on the far side. And then a Valencia near post chance. Oh, it's hit the post. Ecuador inches away from making it 2-0. Low cross in. Efforts come in from John Yeboah. And it's hit the post. Very nearly 1-1. Now the keeper makes a mistake, and Daniel Marlin has a goal from nearly the halfway line. And the keeper has to scamper across to his left-hand side to claw that away. So an absolutely wild opening here. Goalkeeper came a long way from his goal, Gonzalo Valle. Clearance wasn't the best, and then the shot from the halfway line from Daniel Marlin was clawed away by Valle. Valle has stayed down. After that, he is off the pitch. He's away behind the goal. I'm not really sure what could have happened to the Ecuadorian goalkeeper there. Maybe a muscle injury of some description. Just getting help to his feet now. He's Gonzalo Valle. It's only his third cap for Ecuador. Does play domestically for LDU Quito. Just seen a replay of that great run down the line from Valencia. Pulled it back to Yeboah, and Yeboah struck the foot of the post with the keeper beaten. Back underway, corner kick taken, headed down by Van Dijk. Gakpo was lurking. Ecuador hack it clear. Throw in to the Netherlands. Taken quickly in field to Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake operating as a left back this evening. For the Dutch, long ball towards Brobbey. Intercepted by Pacho. Pacho, the man who was credited with that own goal. Pacho in possession, down by his left back area. Cleared away. Picked back up by the Netherlands. Ake challenges, looks for a pass. It's all a little bit tight in there. Gakpo has it. Gakpo drops it off. Central area. Back into Stefan de Vrij, and de Vrij just knocks it back to his goalkeeper. Long ball up the left-hand side. Looking for a runner. Challenge over on the far side there. Ecuador have it back. Pacho. And a long ball through here, and there could be a chance on. There's got to be a decision made there by the goalkeeper, and it's a red card. A red card has been given, and it's Denzel Dumfries who's been sent off for a denying of a goal-scoring opportunity. And that was not in the script at all for the Netherlands. Ball over the top. Ecuador were away. I think it's Enner Valencia who's in behind the Dutch defence. And the foul has been committed. Long ball by the goalkeeper, Valle. Yeboah holds off his man. Valencia is onto the loose ball. And then it's Yeboah who gets the wrong side of Dumfries. Dumfries pulls him down. And the referee sent him off. I think it's a correct decision. Celebrated at the back by Torres, the defender. Well, bit of a wild opening to this one. .13 on the clock. We've got a goal for Netherlands and now a red card for Denzel Dumfries, something you don't often see in international friendlies. Ronald Koeman won't be too thrilled about that, having to play with 10 men. It remains to be seen what sort of cosmetic changes he makes, or if he'll make any substitutions. Ecuador will have a free kick as well, obviously, in quite a dangerous spot. It's to the left of centre. It's a long way out. Maybe 30 yards, maybe 28 yards. Shot comes in, hits the wall. The Netherlands complete the clearance, and then a foul is committed by Ecuador at the edge of the penalty area by Pacho. Maybe Felix Torres was in there too. Cody Gakpo has just gone across to have a little word with Ronald Koeman, just to try and establish what they're going to do in the face of this man disadvantage. Ball is at the feet of the goalkeeper. Flecken, and Flecken takes it long up towards Brobby. Brobby can't get it under control, loses out to Pacho. Torres forward towards Valencia, but the header is won there by De Vrij. Played up the right hand side. Still can't really see what the Dutch have done here. There's no one kind of filling in that right back area. Maybe they've just gone three at the back. If De Vrij, Nathan Ake being the central defender, De Vrij, Van Dijk and Ake have all just shuffled over a little bit. And they'll carry on there. Brobby challenges two Ecuadorian defenders, was determined that he'd won a goal kick, but the official with the flag, he thought he'd won a corner, sorry, the official with the flag has signalled a goal kick. .15.5 played here. Netherlands 1, Ecuador 0. It's been a wild old time so far here in Eindhoven. Ecuador in possession. Plata drops it in. It's Torres. Ordóñez. Plata again. That's a good ball down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Keeper didn't come. Pulled back towards the penalty spot. And it's hacked clear by Schouten. Flag has gone up on the far side. I think it was Alan Franco made the run. Maybe it was Torres, the left-back. Was just offside. That's a great spot. And the Dutch are going to have to make a change here. And the man, the unfortunate player who's now going to miss out on the rest of this game is Daniel Marlin. Daniel Marlin is going to be replaced by the number 2. And it is the man who plays in the Premier League for Sunderland. The second Sunderland player enters the pitch. It's Ucharel Gertruda. Maybe just a bit of a right wing back position for Gertruda. Long ball towards Brobby, making a nuisance of himself. Ecuador have it back. Caicedo. Moses Caicedo. Incredibly important player for Ecuador. crucial to their World Cup hopes come the summer. Ball on the left-hand side with Torres. Pacho looks for Torres again. Petruda gets his first action, and it is to get his body between the ball and Felix Torres and see it out for a goal kick to the Dutch. Tonil Marlin, who got off on the far side, has made his way around. And it's all smiles actually with Ronald Koeman. Gets a few pats on the back from all over the technical area in the dugout. Ball played forward towards Bobby. Can't hold it up. Oh, that's a bit of a wild tackle. It's a really wild challenge in there. It's going to be a yellow card. Yellow card is for Alan Franco. Dived in on Nathan Ake. Did Alan Franco. Seen Alan Franco play a few times recently for Atletico Mineiro at the start of the Brazilian season. Good player. Has picked up a yellow card though for that challenge on the Manchester City man Nathan Ake, and the ball is back with the goalkeeper Mark Fleck. Flecking all in green tonight, lofts it left forward towards Gakpo. Final touch comes off Ake down this right hand side. Through into Ecuador, which Alan Franco takes and gives back to Ordóñez. Out to the left hand side. Franco, long ball. Plata. Won back by Timber. And Nathan Ake turns away from Yeboah as well. This up line towards Brian Brobby, and Brian Brobby this time has won a free kick for his team on the left hand side, about 10 yards short of the halfway line. 20 minutes on the clock. Netherlands 1, Ecuador 0. Been a few goals around in the World Cup qualifiers in Europe. Italy lead in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Czechia lead Denmark, and Sweden lead Poland. So goals in 3 of the 4 games. Ecuador on the attack, Yeboah. Right hand corner of the penalty area. Ball played in, so really good ball. Van Dijk does well. And then Getruda completes the clearance with Torres, who likes to get forward on that left hand side. Ball is given to Plata. Ecuador, good possession. Ball back with Pacho. Looking for an option forward. Pacho to Plata. Into the feet of Valencia. Back to Plata. Good exercise, I suppose, this for the Dutch to play long periods with 10 men. You've got all of them back behind the ball. A little 1-2 here, and then the challenge comes in from De Vrij. One back though, Caicedo, he has a chance. Keeper comes out, gone down. Referee says penalty. Flecken was beaten to the ball. I think it's Enner Valencia who's got there first. VAR will have a look at this. Been a busy opening so far for the VAR too. Long check for the opening goal. Oh, that's an absolute blatant penalty. Gonzalo Plata is the man who touched the ball around the goalkeeper. Absolutely wiped out. I have got no idea what Mark Flecken can be complaining about there. I mean, none. He's got no course of action to suggest that wasn't anything else but the most stonewall penalty decision you've ever seen. We are a quarter of the way through the first half, and Enner Valencia, the Ecuador captain, is spotting this one up. Try and level things up here. Veteran striker, 36 years of age, Enner Valencia. It's going to be right-footed. Can Mark Flecken atone for his mistake? He cannot. Enner Valencia stuck it in the bottom left-hand corner. Ecuador have levelled it up here against the 10-man Netherlands. 23 minutes on the clock. Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. What a lively start to this one in Eindhoven. Most people aren't hugely keen on international friendlies. Well, this one has been a belter so far. If you have just joined us, let me try and take you through what happened. Pacho put through his own goal. The PSG defender in the 5th minute. Long VAR check on that one, but the goal was given. On 12 minutes, Denzel Dumfries was sent off for the Netherlands, pulling down Yeboah, denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity. So down to 10 men were the Netherlands, and 10 minutes after that, penalty foul on Gonzalo Plata by Mark Flecken, and Enner Valencia is put in the bottom right-hand corner of Mark Flecken's goal. 25 minutes have gone here in Eindhoven. It's the Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. Good centre-forward play from Brobbey. Out to the left-hand side. Gakpo, terrible touch from Cody Gakpo. Tackled himself there. Ran it out for a throw-in to the South American team. Ball is out on the left-hand side for Ecuador with Torres. Infield to Vite. Pedro Vite just sits. I mean, Caicedo kind of pivot in that little guard dog role. Caicedo in possession now, gives it back to Vite. Two of them pretty close to each other in there. Vite has it back. Just throws it down the left-hand side. Torres. One back by the Dutch, clear to the halfway line. Can't keep hold of possession though. Plata gives it back to Vite, and eventually Nathan Ake steps in. Nathan Ake loses possession. Ordóñez has it back. Right hand side. Out to Franco. Good possession this from Ecuador. Ecuador have responded well. Look like they're enjoying themselves now, playing with the 10 men. Plata just keeps possession. Vite looks for the deep cross towards Alan Franco. Is picked back up by Plata. Back to Ordóñez. The Dutch just can't get hold of the ball at all currently. Left hand side. Torres. Pacho. Out to Vite. Caicedo. 30 yards from goal, central area. Goes for the little one too. Ecuador still have it. And that time, Vite was a little bit too cute with his pass. The Dutch unable to retain possession, just knocked long by Flecken. Picked up by Ecuador, who were tidy in possession. Moises Caicedo out to the right-hand side. Estupinha. Haven't seen too much of him so far as an attacking force here. Back to Torres. Out to the left-hand side. Plata. Ball in the penalty area. Stefan de Vrij has to get across for the Netherlands. Clears. Won back though immediately by Ecuador. This is one-way traffic at the moment. Alan Franco. Estupinian. Corner of the box. Swaps passes with Franco. Gives it back to Viet. Diagonal ball into the penalty area. Cleared by Van Dijk. Won back by Ecuador. And this time Van Dijk just boots it over the halfway line, where Brobby is pretty isolated. Can't make anything of it. And Ecuador will build out from the back again. Into Plata. Plata goes down the left-hand side. Torres ignores the pass. Gives it to Viet. Viet wide left to Torres. Torres might put this in the box. Defender gets across. Xavi Simons was the man helping out his defence over on that far side, and he's put the ball behind for a corner kick to Ecuador. Ecuador turning the screw here on the 10-man Netherlands. Red card from Denzel Dumfries. Tell you what, the Ecuadorian fans, there's not many of them here, but they're absolutely loving it as well. Opposite us in the far side stand. Estupinha to Viet. Shooting opportunity at the edge of the box. He's gone for the curler. Not too far away that time. It was Yeboah who got the shot off. Went about 2 yards wide of Flecken's right-hand post. From Yeboah. Plays in Italy with Venezia, John Yeboah. 3 international goals to his name so far. Was looking for a 4th there, not far away. We've played half an hour here in Eindhoven, where everything's happened, and it's Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. Ecuador looking to continue this long run of not losing outside of Ecuador. Well, the last 7 have all been draws, which is quite a feat. They'll be looking to change that tonight, though. They'll see this as an opportunity to get a W on the board. Netherlands are thoroughly penned back at the moment. Caicedo has it. Pacho into the penalty area. De Vrij gets a foot in. Won back by Ecuador. Chance for Franco. Good ball in towards the back post. Really good header from De Vrij. And Valencia eyes it up there. Looked like he was going to make that too. Ecuador back in possession. 30 yards from goal. Just backs to the wall defence at the moment from the Netherlands. Pacho edge of the centre circle. Comes out to Ordóñez and on to Estupinha. Estupinha. Back into the centre circle. The Dutch try and force Ecuador back a little bit. Long ball forward, and the goalkeeper comes to the edge of the box. Mark Flecken. I think maybe the flag would have gone up anyway against Valencia, who'd made the run. But Flecken came and claimed the cross. After 32 minutes, it remains 1-1 in this international friendly. Ecuador back on the attack. De Vrij gets a touch in. Gertrude will have to go back to his goalkeeper. Long ball forward, one in the air by Pacho. Plata, Estupinian. Plata runs in field. This is a shooting opportunity. Drops it off to Caicedo instead. Shot comes in from Vito. It's a good save, maybe. Has it gone all the way wide, or did the keeper get a hand on it? Shot came in from round about 20 yards out. From Pedro Vite. And it did beat the goalkeeper, but also went about 2 yards wide right of Mark Flecken's left-hand post. Pedro Vite, not a regular scorer. 1 goal. 1 international goal for the 24-year-old. Plays for UNAM in Mexico. Better known as Pumas to you and me. The Netherlands get a rare attack going down this left-hand side. And we'll have a free kick here. Foul on Quinton Timber. Chance for the Dutch to make something from this set piece. And Ronald Koeman's been very vocal about wanting to get a lot out of his set pieces. All very, very much part of the modern game. So Xavi Simons this time is over this one. It's on the left-hand side, 40 yards out. Towards the edge of the penalty area, Van Dijk wins it. Cleared away by Ecuador. Gertrude inside the centre circle. Gertrude out to Ake. Simmons. Switch out to the right-hand side. This is a little bit better from the Dutch, who've had no possession at all for the last 15 minutes. Simmons comes forward looking for options, as De Vrij, just happy to keep the ball a little bit. The Dutch get a breather in here. They've been moved around by Ecuador since the sending up. Gertrude out to Van Dijk. Turned around the corner by Cody Gakpo. Aimless pass though. Nowhere near Brian Brobby. And Ecuador will have it back. We've got 10 minutes left of the first half. Let's take a little break in play here as Enner Valencia has gone to ground, just holding his right foot. Is the Ecuadorian skipper, man who got the goal tonight from the penalty spot. His 49th international goal for Enner Valencia. Latest scores around Europe in World Cup qualifying. Bosnia-Herzegovina 0, Italy 1. These are all kicked off at the same time. There's just around about 5 minutes to go. Moise Keane got the goal in that one. Czechia lead Denmark by a goal to 0. Denmark were the favourites in that, so upset on the cards there in Prague. Kosovo and Turkey is goalless. And Poland have found an equaliser against Sweden. Sweden led through Anthony Elanga goal. Poland have equalised. And it's Zalewski who's got the goal there. 2 goals here in Eindhoven. One in the 5th minute. A Pacho OG gave the Dutch the lead before they reduced to 10 men by Dumfries. And then a penalty from Enner Valencia. Mark Flecken brought down Gonzalo Plata, and it was 1-1. And that is where it stands. Ecuador have done just about all of the pressing since the red card. The Netherlands do have a throw in left hand side, about 40 yards from goal. Ball is in the hands of Nathan Ake. Ake towards Brobbey. Brobbey's challenged well by Ordonez. Ake, Brobbey wins it back. Played forward by Schuiten. And a foul given against the Dutch. Nathan Ake penalised. Foul on Alan Franco. Throw into Ecuador. Ecuador take it square across the back four. And the PSG man credited with the own goal, Pacho. Pacho closed down by Brobbey. Turns, knocks it back to his goalkeeper Gonzalo Valla. Valla barely had anything to do, did a bit of a dodgy clearance that Daniel Marlin nearly took advantage of. Daniel Marlin was the man who was sacrificed after the red card. Free kick near the halfway line. This time a foul on Stefan de Vrij by Enner Valencia. Both players outstretched arms in the general direction of the referee. Developments in Bosnia-Herzegovina, where Italy have had Bastoni sent off. So Italy lead by a goal to nil, but down to 10 men. It's going to be a very tense second half with a place at World Cup assured. For the winner. Both of these teams already booked their flights. Ecuador in possession. Moises Caicedo, centre circle. Was out to Pedro Vite. Vite, busy left-footed player. Wide to Estepinian. Plata. The Dutch happy to allow Ecuador possession and a diagonal ball forward. Looking for the run off that left wing. It was Plata who made the run, it was. It was one bounce through to Mark Flecken. Foul committed far side. Quinton Timber is the man who's gone down. Throwing free kick, to Oranje. A few shots of Sebastian Bekasese down there. He's very difficult to meet. Very demonstrative individual. Looks like he's going to take off, waving his arms around. Good ball out from Flecken. Finds the feet of Xavi Simons. Oh, terrible touch over there. Though by Timber, I think it was. He was just giving the ball back to Ecuador. Estepinian with a cross. Looking for the run of Alan Franco at the back post. Well read this time by Mark Flecken, who came 8 yards from his goal. Collects it. In no rush at all to distribute this ball is the Dutch goalkeeper. Quite a few options in goal tonight. The Dutch went with Flecken. I expected Bart Verbruggen to play. He would be first choice, I would imagine. But Justin Bilau was another option. Mark Flecken, though, by Leverkusen, picks up his 11th cap. Flecken had to be alert there as well, as Ecuador tried to get in and make it two. Edge of the penalty area. Franco with a little back heel. Bit ambitious. Hacked away by Xavi Simons. 3 minutes to go till half time, and the Dutch are just wobbling again here. Gonzalo Plata. Caicedo. Plata. De Vrij steps in. Valencia. Brobbey is fouled. Brobbey doing a good job for his team there, putting his body in between the player and the ball. Wins a free kick. Ake and Van Dijk who got in each other's way, which left Yeboah to toe poke a shot which was saved by Mark Flecken. It's a decent opportunity, that. Free kick is cleared in another offence committed, this time by Ordóñez. He is adjudged to have fouled Cody Gakpo as the ball dropped out of the night sky here in Eindhoven. A few Dutch substitutions warming up over on that far side. Expect a ton of subs anyway in an international friendly, but with 10 men, wouldn't surprise me if the Dutch changed just about everybody at some point. This free kick is left to centre, 45 yards out. It is a crossing opportunity. The last one was pretty poor from Xavi Simons. It was flat, but behind his players. Line is held at the edge of the penalty area. This one's in towards the penalty spot. Heads up. Ecuador clear. Robbie helps it on towards Van Dijk. Gonzalo Valla is off his line quick and tidies up for Ecuador. Rolled out towards the left-hand side in Estupinha. Plata charges down the line, tries to play in Estupinha. Showed a little bit too much of it to Getruda. Getruda slides and tackle. Throw in into the penalty area. Yeboah out to the left wing in Estupinha. Clock has hit 45 minutes. Don't know how much stoppage time we'll have here. Pacho tries to thread a ball through towards Yeboah. A little bit ambitious, that one. It's rolled through to the goalkeeper Flecken. 3 minutes stoppage time is what we'll have here. Flecken clears right-footed. Gakpo just nudges Torres underneath the ball, but then can't keep it in, and it goes out for a throw-in. To Ecuador. Ecuador attack left-hand side on the halfway line. Estupinha. Infield to Vite. Vite helps it on to Ordóñez. Ordóñez goes one more to Torres. Torres has got a runner down this side in Yeboah. This is a good move from Ecuador. Drop back to Ordóñez again. Ordóñez has gone back to Vite. Yeboah came out and Robbie wins it back. Robbie overruns it. Ecuador have it back. 90 seconds left. Of this first half. 1-1 is the score. Purvis Estupinian, former Brighton and Hove Albion player, left hand side. Pacho to Ordóñez. The Dutch would be happy to see half time at this point. Pacho. Seems an age ago since Pacho put that ball through his own goal to give the Dutch a lead. Back in the 5th minute. And Valencia wants a free kick. Not going to get one. German referee waves it away. Flecken just clears it right-footed long, but aimless. throw in deep inside the Ecuadorian half. 20 seconds till half time. This will be the last action of the half. Estupinian trying to get forward on the left hand side. Turns away from Gertruda. Back into Veit. Veit will look up and pick out Ordóñez. Ordóñez out to Torres. Torres back to Ordóñez. Veit. And the referee has blown the half-time whistle here in an eventful first half in Eindhoven. 5 minutes on the clock. Pacho own goal in really odd circumstances put the Netherlands in front. 12 minutes on the clock when Denzel Dumfries was red carded for the Dutch, bringing down John Yeboah in a goal scoring opportunity. And Ecuador got the equaliser on 23 minutes. Gonzalo Plata was fouled as he took the ball around the goalkeeper, Mark Flecken. Ena Valencia, the veteran striker, stepped up and slotted the penalty into the bottom left-hand corner. Ecuador dominated from there on out. It's going to be a long second half for the Dutch. Expect a ton of subs and a ton of defending from Aranje. Half-time here in Eindhoven at the Philips Stadion. It is Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. welcome back everybody to Eindhoven. We're at the Philips Stadion. We're at half time in this international friendly. It has been all action in the first half. It is Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. Early on goal from William Pacho, cancelled out by an Valencia penalty in between a red card for Denzel Dumfries. So the Dutch down to 10. And as suspected, we're going to see a few changes here at half time. Already one enforced change. Gertrude came on for Daniel Marlin in the first half, just as Ronald Koeman wanted to shore up defensively. What was going on for the Dutch after that red card? And we've seen a couple of changes which I'll bring you in a minute when I talk you through the teams. We are just underway at the start of the second half. Ecuador, the visitors, all in dark blue, going from right to left as we look. The Dutch in white, the orange band across the chest, orange shorts and white socks, defending the goal away to our left hand side. Stefan de Vrij is one who's been replaced, as has Virgil van Dijk for the Dutch. Two defenders on are Mickey van der Ven and Jeremy Frimpong. Free kick for a foul on Brobby. Foul in the back against Felix Torres. One change for the visitors is that Alan Franco has been replaced as well. He is off, replaced by the number 8, Anthony Valencia. Free kick to the Netherlands. Cody Gakpo has been replaced by Jeremy Frimpong. Not Stefan de Vrij, so de Vrij is still on. It's the two Liverpool men, Van Dijk and Gakpo. Ball towards the back post as Ecuador immediately on the attack, headed over the top by Enner Valencia. We played 2 minutes of the second half and it remains Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. Sweden have retaken the lead against Poland in their World Cup qualifier. The other 3 games remain as they were in the first half. Chance for the Dutch to mount a rare attack. Frimpong gets his first action of the game out on the right hand side, drops it off to Gertrude. Schouten turns away, that's good. Out to Frimpong. Frimpong's got time here to try and measure across, maybe. Goes for the little one too. Well defended by Ecuador. Lost it though, and that's a foul. The second challenge is far too enthusiastic by Anthony Valencia. In his first action in this game is to give away a free kick. In a dangerous position. It's going to be about 35 yards from goal, right of centre. The Dutch line up. Flekken is in goal. De Vrij, Ake and Van der Ven, with Gertrude, Schouten, Timber and Simons, and then Brobby and Frimpong. Remember, down to 10 men. Denzel Dumfries sent off 12 minutes in. De Vrij has gone forward for this. Ecuador just holding their line about 13 yards from goal. Schouten is the man who's going to put it into the penalty area. Left arm in the air is the signal. Towards the back post, keeper comes, gets a right arm on it. Out to the left hand side where it's shepherded out of play by Timber for a throw-in to the Netherlands. Netherlands started this off a little bit better. We're very much on the back foot following the dismissal of Dumfries in that first half. This time they're going to put the long throw in. Gertrude is the man charged with launching this into the Ecuadorian penalty area. Lands on the edge of the 6-yard box, cleared away by Pacho. It's back out with Gertrude. Goes for the little 1-2 with Brobby, who loses out. Ecuador on the break. Valencia, the keeper's guessed at that Flecking. He was inches away from a red card of his own there. Flew into the tackle, completely guessed at it. Got a foot on the ball. Or Flecken would have joined Dumfries in the early bath. Gets away with it on the attack. Come the Netherlands. Xavi Simons. Out to Frimpong. Back to Schouten. Robbie does well, holds it up. Drop back into Schouten again. Just a little bit better possession this from the Dutch. Square to Gertrude. Robbie. No foul. 2 good challenges go in. The first one by Pacho, the second one was on the Ecuadorian by Xavi Simons. And the one player who's come off worst in all of that is Xavi Simons. He stayed down, going to get a little bit of treatment. Brian Brobby looks like he's hit his left hand at some point during that little passage of play. Poland find an equaliser in Sweden. Sweden 2, Poland 2. Turkey have taken the lead. In Kosovo, Kosovo 0, Turkey 1. Czechia still lead Denmark by a goal to 0. In Italy, 10-man Italy lead 1-0 in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Xavi Simons just having a little word with Ronald Koeman on the halfway line. He's come across to receive that treatment. Will be back on, looks like it soon. Ryan probably still having a look at his fingers of his left hand. But we are back underway. Ball is knocked back to the Dutch goalkeeper Mark Flecken. Swiderski is the man who's equalised for Poland for the second time today. Ecuador clear right hand side. Ordonez. One back by Simons. Looks for the run of Brobby. Asked a little bit too much of the Sunderland striker, and Vala was off his line quickly. Dived in at the feet of Brobby. Brobby did just leave a little bit on Gonzalo Vala there too, as he stretched for the ball. Nothing too sinister in it. Looked a little bit painful. So fragmented start to this second half, as we've had a few players gone down injured. Gonzalo Vala, 30-year-old, represents LDU Quito in Ecuador. "54 minutes approaching on the clock here. And so far the second half hasn't quite lived up to the drama of the first half. Gonzalo Vala still down receiving treatment. Doesn't look very happy either, does the goalkeeper. Spent a long time with Guayaquil City before getting his move to Quito. Guayaquil City are a Premier League team in Ecuador, but Quito the premium move for him, and we might have to see a change in goal here for Ecuador. I can see a couple of the goalkeepers warming up. Hernan Gelindez, chief amongst them. Moises Ramirez is down there too. He might be the man. To go in goal here. So a little bit dissatisfactory as the stretcher is now coming out for Gonzalo Valle. No action being taken against Brian Brobby. It was Brobby who just left a foot in on Gonzalo Valle. He is sitting up, but he is going to be helped onto the stretcher and replaced. I see Ruud van Nistelrooy down there in the technical area, having a chat with both Ronald Koeman and the captain Nathan Nake. Nathan Nake has just come across to get some further instructions. The change of all the goalkeepers, it's going to be the one I didn't mention. It's going to be David Cabezas. It's going to be an international debut for David Cabezas. Plays his football for Libertad in Ecuador. Another 30-year-old. El Nacional stopper. This breaking play is really not ideal for anybody. And the Dutch look like they're going to make a few more changes. As this break-in play offers them the opportunity. I can see Johnny Van Hecke, the Brighton and Hove Albion man down there. Gonzalo Valle, his hands over his face as the stretcher is lifted and ready to be moved off. Brian Brobby looks a little bit sheepish nearby, but I don't think it was anything intentional. Valle has left the playing surface now. David Cabezas just about ready to come on. We're going through a lengthy warm-up. Member of the Ecuadorian team just throwing the ball at him from 5 yards like he's forgotten how to catch it in the hour he sat there waiting to come on. I'm sure you'll be alright, David. Get on. People have got stuff to do. "57 minutes on the clock, but this break-in play has been about 5 minutes now. David Cabezas has sufficiently remembered what a football looks like. He's now consenting to come on. Wearing the number 12. Cabezas is on, Valle off. Wish the best to Gonzalo Valle. Cabezas wants to drop to his knees and say a prayer before he comes on as well. All right, David, we'll wait for you. Jeremy Frimpong. Now, what's going on here? Jeremy Frimpong has come off as well. He only came on at half time. Has played 7 minutes, stood watching for 5 minutes, and has just disappeared off down the tunnel. So Jeremy Frimpong's replaced, which is why Van Hecke has come on. And this is all incredibly frustrating, pretty unedifying, and it's not doing anyone much good here. We are back underway, thankfully, in Eindhoven. Jean-Paul van Hekke, wearing number 3, replaces Jeremy Frimpong. He just muttered something to Ronald Koeman as he disappeared off down the tunnel. Ecuador back in possession. Pacho. Pacho goes square to Vite. One more to Ordóñez. Ordóñez on to Pacho again. This game is in real danger of fizzling out here. Red card, injuries, etc. Neither team fully committed to the result. It's not hugely important. Pivas Estupiñán, right hand side. Ecuador's Yeboah. Yeboah, corner of the box. Might try and get a shot off. Blocked by the defender. Up in the air, headed back across the 6-yard box. Ake clears. And then Gertrude gets a back header on it. And it's back at the feet of Gonzalo Plata, left hand side. Caicedo shoots. Is blocked by Van Hekke. Comes out to Gertrude. Terrible pass from the Sunderland man. Intercepted by Mickey van der Ven. Van der Ven considered one of his trademark charges. Went for the 1-2, gave the ball away. Back with Ecuador. Ecuador just trying to inject a little bit of pace into this game after the stodgy start of the second half. Vite swamps passes with Caicedo. Out to the right hand side. And Yeboah. Yeboah's gone to the right of a 3. With Valencia and Plata playing on the left now since half time. Sebastian Becasese just making a few superficial changes. Left hand side is Estupiñán. Into the feet of Plata. Vite. Good possession again from Ecuador. Right hand side. Into the penalty area. Shooting opportunity, good defending, crowded away. Pacho wins it, it's then flattened by Brobby. Cross in, is headed over at the near post. It was Gonzalo Plata who made a run. Cross came in from Anthony Valencia. De Vrij was there doing a little bit of defending. But the final touch has come off. Plata. It's going to be a goal kick to the Netherlands. 62 minutes gone here. Not much to report since half time. Lots of stuff going on in the first half, but in a fragmented second half, it's still Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. Netherlands down to 10 men following the first half dismissal of Denzel Dumfries. No changes around Europe. Bosnia-Herzegovina 0, Italy 1, Czechia 1, Denmark 0, Kosovo 0, Turkey 1, and Sweden 2, Poland 2. Ecuador in possession over the halfway line. Joel Ordóñez. Out to the left-hand side and Purvis Estupiñán. One more to Plata. Plata feels like a run at Gertrude. Comes inside to Caicedo. Caicedo has Estupiñán with him. 2 former Brighton teammates. Estupiñán back heel out to Vite. To Caicedo. This is good. Estupiñán's in the box. Low cross. Away by Van der Ven. Last touch comes off Van Hekke. Corner kick to Ecuador. That was a good move. Lovely ball from Caicedo. Found Estupiñán. Left corner of the penalty area. Low cross cleared away by the Dutch. Corner kick. To Ecuador. Left hand side, right footed in swinger, taken by Caicedo. He's somewhat scuffed that. He's put it one bounce into the side netting. That's a waste from Moises Caicedo, the Chelsea man. It's a goal kick to the Netherlands. In fairness, there has not been as many changes made in the second half as I thought. I was at... What game was I at the other day? Oh, I tell you what, Mexico v Portugal the other day, and there was so many second half changes. It was really hard to keep up with. But so far, 4 for the Dutch and only 1 for the visitors. And one of those Dutch ones was the rather odd substitution of Jeremy Frimpong, who came on at half time and then disappeared off again about 10 minutes later. And the other one was then forced after Daniel Marlin was taken off, sacrificed following the red card of Dumfries. Ecuador on the attack, right hand side, Vite. Vite has support from Valencia. Valencia stands the cross up towards the back post, and Gertrude gets in. Heads it behind for a corner. It's good play. I think it's Yeboah down that right hand side causing the problem. Vite back in possession to Ordóñez, to Valencia, into Yeboah. Vite's there, won back by the Dutch though. Oh, and he has a chance. Brobbey suddenly with a one-on-one situation. Brobbey, can he get his shot off? Brobbey has put it wide. All of a sudden Brian Brobbey is one-on-one. It's a really good ball from Quinton Timber, who found him. Timber took the ball off Plata. Lovely pass through to Brian Brobbey. And I tell you what, the defender Pacho, who scored that own goal in the early stages, has come across with a wonderful tackle to deny Brian Brobbey. He was trying to get the shot off from no more than 8 yards out, having ran through from the halfway line. Corner kick to the Netherlands. Right-footed, in-swinging corner from Simons. Goalkeeper surrounded by players, just about gets something on it. Valencia gives possession away down this right-hand side. If you remember the goalkeeper David Cabezas, substitute goalkeeper following the second half injury to Gonzalo Valla. He was trod on by Brian Brobbey. Ball played down the left hand side of the penalty area, is tidied up well by Mickey van de Ven. He gives it back to his goalkeeper Flecken right footed to absolutely nobody. There wasn't a Dutch player within maybe 25 yards of that as he lofted it out to the right hand side. Allows Ecuador to build from the back again with Pedro Vite. Great ball down the channel for Estupiñán. Shot is blocked by Gertrude. Estupiñán probably should have done a little bit better. Ecuador again get in behind this Dutch defence. It's a beautiful pass. It's Vite with the ball. Estupiñán was in behind Gertrude. Gertrude did well to get back and challenge. It's going to be another corner for Ecuador again on the left hand side. Moises Caicedo wasted the last one. This one taken short, headed clear by Gertrude. Picked back up by Ecuador down that right hand side. Look for Yeboah, but then Ordóñez has just turned away and gone back to his goalkeeper Cabezas. And Ecuador will come left hand side. Caicedo steps away from Xavi Simons. Infield to Pedro Vite. Yeboah. Sideways across the pitch. Back to Vite. Gonzalo Plata, corner of the box. Looks to find Estupiñán. Stretches to keep the ball in. Can't do so. Referee checks with his assistant on the far side, who signals the ball had crossed the line for a goal kick to the Dutch. As we are just about to hit 70 minutes here in Eindhoven. It's the Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. Mark Flekken, right-footed, takes the goal kick. Long and high, drops onto the head of Brian Brobby, who helps it on. There's no one in support for the Netherlands, so Pacho can tidy it up. Over the halfway line is Estupiñán. Vite. Back to Moises Caicedo. Ordóñez. 1-2. Valencia, surrounded by Dutchmen, does well. Tries a little Maradona spin. It's picked up. Good challenge over there by Timber. And then a foul by Enner Valencia on Mickey van der Ven. Mickey van der Ven, whose club side Tottenham have appointed a new manager today, so he'll have a new gaffer when he gets back to work after this. Roberto De Zerbi, yes. Another Brighton link, a lot of Brighton links here tonight. Caicedo, Estupiñán, Van Hecke, De Zerbi. Free kick to the Netherlands. Again, Mark Flecken's been left with it by his teammates to go along up the left-hand side. Edge of the penalty area. Shooting opportunity maybe for the Dutch. Ecuador just getting a little bit of a mess there. Eventually Ordóñez can clear it. Well closed down though by Timber. That's a little bit better from the Dutch. Torres finally has just swung the ball out for a throw-in to the Netherlands. We're just going to take a little bit of time and get this organised. Getruda again will trot across to that left-hand side. It's going to be a right-footed, a long throw from level with the penalty spot by Getruda. Towards the edge of the 6-yard box. First contact by Ecuador. Cleared away to Van Hecke. Van Hecke was having his shirt pulled. It's an obvious free kick. Pretty needless too from Yeboah. Free kick central area. 35 yards out. Chance for Xavi Simons just to put some pressure on this Ecuadorian defence. Simons just replaces the ball. One man in the wall for Ecuador. Shooting has come short. Simons sends him away. Diagonal in towards the back post. Too easy for Ecuador to clear, and Valencia brings it away. Ecuador have got men both sides here. Good defending from Getruda. He's been penalised. Looked like a good challenge to me. A free kick given right on the halfway line to Ecuador. Pedro Vite is lucky not to be booked, as he's asking for a yellow card from Getruda. Referee shuts that down pretty quick. And here come the changes now. Angel Preciado is on for Ecuador. He replaces Felix Torres. Angel Preciado, another that I've watched a handful of times in the Brazilian league. A good player, I really like him. Atletico Mineiro too. Plays kind of as a wing back. Ecuador on the attack, ball into the penalty area. It's cleared away by Van de Ven. Ecuador have it back. Estupinian swaps passes with Vite. Infield to Caicedo. Caicedo to Ana Valencia. This is good football from Ecuador. It's all going through Valencia in the middle. It's back in possession now. Caicedo, sorry, in the middle. Wide to Anthony Valencia. Loose pass though. Dutch win it back. Poor ball. Xavi Simons was looking for Brobby. Different wavelengths. Ecuador attack right hand side. Ball is switched out. And that's a terrible pass. And now the Dutch can break from Simons. Simons looks for Brobby. Brobby, oh, good defending that time by Ordóñez. Thought Brobby was the wrong side. Deceptively quick, Brian Brobby. Long ball forward. Flag stayed down for the minute. He has a chance for Ecuador. Unbelievable bit of defending by Nathan Ake. Ana Valencia has got to get his shot off quicker than that. He's taken about 12 steps. And with every step he took, Nathan Ake was after him. The referee, I think, has given the corner, although looking on the replay, I reckon Ana Valencia would have been given offside. And now we're going to see all the changes for the Dutch. Wout Weghorst is on to replace Brian Brobby, like for like striker there. Coop Miners is on. Xavi Simons is the man who's going to replace by him. Jarrell Hato is on, wearing number 25. The final change for the Dutch is going to be the number 10. It was Valente. Luciano Valente replaces number 26, Quinton Timber. So changes afoot for the Dutch. 13 minutes left on the clock. However, it's going to be a ton more time added on if they decide to add it on. A couple of breaks in play in the second half, notably for Gonzalo Valla, the Ecuador goalkeeper, who had to be replaced. 1-1 here. Netherlands fighting on with 10 men. Estupinian is forced back towards his own goal by Valente. Estupinian back in possession to Vite and on to Anthony Valencia. Angelo Preciado gets his first touch. Yeboah charges down the right hand side. Good tackle over in that left back area by Mickey Van de Ven. Yeboah trying to beat Van de Ven for pace is the big ask. Van de Ven got back, made a good tackle. Corner kick for Ecuador. Right hand side, it'll be a left footed in swinger. Or towards the edge of the box, that's good. I think it was meant for the shot at the edge of the penalty area. It wasn't taken on. Now the shot's taken. Deflection. Estupinian's effort. Valente stuck out a foot. And it's gone out for a corner kick, this time on the left-hand side, taken quickly. Edge of the penalty area. Estupinian. Loads of time and space out here for Caicedo to put a great ball in. And it's all the way across the face of the goal. It's taken a little nick of Stefan de Vrij and evaded all the Ecuadorian forwards. Plateau was the one at the back post. Short corner taken again from Ecuador. This one not as good. But Van Hecker runs into Ecuadorian player. Preciado, Yeboah towards the back post. Taken though by Mark Flecken. It's just having a little wobble in their own penalty area there, but eventually comes to nothing for Ecuador. Late drama in the European World Cup qualifiers. Bosnia-Herzegovina have eventually worn down the 10 men of Italy. It's 1-1 there with 10 minutes to play. Can Italy suffer World Cup playoff heartbreak again for the third time in a row? It seems unthinkable. Ecuador on the attack. World Cup of their own, both of these two sides here. Netherlands and Ecuador locked at 1-1. That was the score when they last met in 2022 World Cup. Throw in left-hand side for Ecuador. Estupinian. The fact that Ecuador haven't made a ton of changes tells you kind of how seriously they're taking this. I did say it was the last friendly in their schedule, although I imagine they've got to add in another one or two practice games maybe. Preciado, that's a good ball. Down the channel, Yeboah once again sliding tackle over there. And it's going to be another corner kick. Challenge this time was made by Jarrell Hatto. Corner's taken quickly. Angel Preciado with the ball in. Downwards header. Never getting it on target was Gonzalo Plata. Estupinian was in there too. It was Estupinian who got the final touch actually. But got the header all wrong. And with 8 minutes to go here in Eindhoven, it remains Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. Game hasn't fizzled out. You can kind of understand why it may have done. Both teams given a lot of effort in this second half. Netherlands down to 10. Ecuador definitely fancy a winner here. Ordóñez is chased down that left-hand side by Mickey van de Ven. Who for some reason was in an advanced position. Throw in to the Netherlands. Going to be a long one. This time Koopmeiners is the man who's been charged with launching it into the box. Headed on, cleared away by Pacho. Schouten retrieves possession for the Dutch. Gertrude back out to Koopmeiners. Koopmeiners, the Inter Milan man, knocks it in, cleared away by Ecuador. Gertrude has to hurry. Goes back to his goalkeeper. Sweden have scored a late goal against Poland. Sweden 3, Poland 2. Looks like World Cup bound Sweden. Ecuador in possession. Ena Valencia. Pedro Vite out to the right hand side. Yeboah. Pedro Vite. On to Pacho. Dutch sitting deep, inviting Ecuador on. Estepinian, 25 yards out left-hand side. Turns infield. Up to the right-hand side now, cross from Preciado. Half blocked. Anthony Valencia then tries to keep the ball in. Runs into the corner flag and can only concede a goal kick to the Dutch. Substitution being prepared from Sebastian Becasese. Looks like just the Wolves actually 2 changes. I think I can see Aravola and Caicedo getting ready down there. Netherlands trying to make something happen at the top end of the pitch. Weghorst, big and combative. Ecuador get the ball away. Van de Ven goes back to his goalkeeper. Cleared away long by Van Hecke towards Weghorst. I think that was intentional. Finds a pass. Van Hecke. Gertrude tries a Maradona spin. Schouten does well. Gertrude picks it up and then wins the free kick for his side. And a yellow card in there too for Pedro Vite. Number 15 for Ecuador. Picks up the yellow card. Wasn't much in that. It was maybe a totting up procedure for him. It's the second yellow of the game. Alan Franco picked her up in the first half. He was withdrawn at half time. And don't forget the red card for Denzel Dumfries 12 minutes into this game, which changed everything in the early stages. Schouten tries a through ball, won back by Preciado. Angelo Preciado put under pressure by Coop Miners over on that far side. Pacho. Pedro Vite has come deep. To get on the ball for Ecuador. We're at the final 3 minutes of the 90. Pedro Vite over on the halfway line. Gonzalo Plata drops it off to Estepinian. Nice little triangle between those three. Plata again. Away from Gertrude. Central area, 30 yards out. Preciado, one more to Yeboah. Yeboah left-footed cross towards the back post, and Van Hecke was up. And Van Hecke has put it out for another corner kick to Ecuador. They've had plenty corners. Ecuador haven't made much of them. This time it's just smashed off the legs of Jordi Schouten. And now we're going to see some changes. Anthony Valencia is coming across to get some instructions. Becasese is not taking him off. Alcivar, the number 5, is coming on. And Valencia is off. Jeremy Arevalo and Jordi Caicedo are on. John Yeboah has been replaced. And I am unsure of the third one. Into the final 90 seconds. Remains to be seen how much time will be added on here. Ecuador pushing for a win here. They've had the most possession in territory. In possession with Angelo Preciado, 20 yards out right wing. Tries to get past Van de Ven. Again, he hasn't done his homework. Van de Ven is rapid. Preciado has it back. Caicedo out to this left-hand side. Opportunity for the substitute. Alcivar shoots. Wants a deflection in a corner, gets one. Alcivar shot from a long way out. Another corner left-hand side. Alcivar has it. Little 1-2, and he didn't go for the 2. Dropped it off to Caicedo. Caicedo thought he was going for the give and go. Alcivar gave and didn't go. Disappointing end to that move for Ecuador. We are just about to hit the 90 minutes here. We're going to play 5 minutes of stoppage time, which is about fair. I don't think either side want too much stoppage time here. So into the first of 5 minutes with a goal kick for the Netherlands. Weghorst challenges. Koopmeiners is up in support on that left-hand side. The ball's all the way back with the goalkeeper now. And that will flick on from Weghorst. Will find Koopmeiners. Koopmeiners has got support. Oh, poor ball. Well intercepted by Adonys. Helped forward by Plata. Looked offside. He's left it wisely to Estepinian. Estepinian to Alcivar. To Caicedo. Onto Anthony Valencia. Out to the right-hand side. Angelo Preciado. Valencia. Edge of the penalty area. Little 1-2. Good defending. Mickey van de Ven this time. Who's held off Jeremy Arevalo. Allowed Mark Flecken to come 10 yards from his goal and fall on the ball. Straightforward bit of goalkeeping. We've played 2 minutes of the 5. Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. Can Ecuador mount one last attack here? They're on the attack with Pacho. Pacho plays the ball down the left-hand channel. Oh, what a great tackle by John Paul Van Hecke. Gonzalo Plata was on the charge. Van Hecke timed the challenge and has also won the throw-in. Last touch off the Ecuadorian. Van Hecke celebrates that like it's a goal. There's been too much international friendly about these. It's been pretty intense. Truder sends a throw up the line. Alcivar gets first contact. Van Hecke heads away. Good touch in the middle of the park by Pacho. On to Preciado. Preciado. Right hand side is Anthony Valencia. Preciado. Ball into the middle. It's away partially. Shot comes in, edge of the box. Still in the penalty area. Caicedo, Jordi Caicedo, squirms the shot across the box. And it evades everybody. And has gone out for a throw-in to the Netherlands, right down by this left-hand corner flag. Final 2 minutes here in Eindhoven. I think the Dutch will be happy with the endeavour they've showed here. This was inevitably going to be a draw. Last 7 games outside of Ecuador, for Ecuador, all of them draws. 70 seconds left here. Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. Can Ecuador find that winning goal to break the streak? Alcivar, 25 yards out, central area. On to Pachu. Cross comes in towards the back post. I think the defender got the last touch on that. Indeed he did. Jarrell Hatto was up there. Put the ball out for a corner. Ecuador going to have one last chance here to stick this in the danger zone. Anthony Valencia to Alcivar. Alcivar goes one more to Estepina, and he might try a shot. Low cross, cleared away by Mickey van der Ven. Shot from the edge of the box is terrible from Alcivar, and I reckon that's going to be the last action of the game. This one is going to finish 1-1. We are just about hit the 5 minutes here. Mark Flecken will take his time over the restart, and the referee is going to call a halt to proceedings here in Eindhoven. Mark Flecken bangs his boots off the post. This right-footed clearance is going to be the last action. Flecken clears right-footed. And the referee blows his final whistle. It's all over in Eindhoven. It is finished. Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1. Pachu on goal in 5th minute. Got us off the mark. Denzel Dumfries was sent off on 12 minutes for the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. And Enner Valencia levelled up from the spot after Gonzalo Plata was fouled going around Mark Flecken. Not much happened in the second half, in all honesty. Final score here as both teams head off to the World Cup in Eindhoven. It's finished Netherlands 1, Ecuador 1.